The defence of Farage about the abuse recorded last night and put out on a Channel 4 documentary is that the party activist Andrew Parker, who was one of the people filmed talking about shooting migrants who crossed the channel, is an actor who was a stooge for the Channel 4 program. I don't think that's a reasonable that's a reasonable defence. Why? Even if he were a stooge, Farage has said that it amounts to some pretty unpleasant things, very prejudiced, very wrong. Mr. Parker would not be welcome back. He says, I'm dismayed by the reported comments of a handful of people associated with my local campaign, particularly those who are volunteers. They will no longer be with the campaign. The appalling sentiments expressed by some in these exchanges bear no relation to my own views, those of the vast majority of our supporters or Reform UK policy. Some of the language used was reprehensible. The issue really is not whether Mr. Parker is the person responsible for this, or whether Mr. Parker was a stooge, or whether Mr. Parker says that Farage or personally or Reform Party are aware of my personal views on immigration. He'd like to apologise profusely to Nigel Farage and the Reform Party if my personal views have reflected badly on them. It doesn't matter. The point is, those personal views and those prejudiced views have been indulged by Farage for years. And that was the point of my earlier post, that it goes all the way back to people like David Coburn, and at that point Farage says, well, it's just a joke. But now, when he is in reach of capturing a seat for the Westminster Parliament, he's now prepared to distance himself from these jokes. Unfortunately, he's indulged it for so long, and it forms a backbone, a spine to his identity. And he personally may not be saying these things. He may personally be a little bit more careful, but nevertheless, his indulgence over the years of this sort of filth is precisely what gives people like this man, Andrew Parker, the feeling that he has license to say these things. And Parker was not the only person to be filmed. There was another activist in the report who referred to an LGBT pride flag on a police car as degenerate. It is this sort of person who is encouraged by Farage's indifference and louche disregard of prejudice over the last 15-odd years in public life, in public campaigns. It's his indulgence of people like David Coburn that leads to an indulgence of Andrew Parker. And he's only calling Andrew Parker out because he got caught out because he was filmed. That's the only reason. I don't have any sympathy with this, and I don't have any sympathy with Parker or with Farage. This is not an excuse.